Catus Maximus here, slightly older. I've done a couple Walden ratchets on the channel before, including a half-inch pear head that was kind of butchered. But this seems like a slightly older one. This is a 3150, I guess a T series. What I mean by slightly older is we can say it actually says Walden Worcester on it, and the big W logo, and I believe that's slightly older, although it might be slightly newer. I just don't know. It's kind of hard to figure out, but most of the Walden tools just say Walden on them. So this one's saying Walden Worcester. Usually tool names get simpler over time rather than more complicated. Just a real basic. Walden tools were like a auto parts store kind of ratchet. Pretty coarse. I mean, this thing is probably a 24 tooth or 30 tooth. Just a little stamped reverse lever pressed on. It is like a Williams batwing style, so it's pretty reliable. The half-inch one actually was somebody like used a cheater pipe and stretched one of the teeth, but still worked fine. I'm gonna see if I can't fix this up because that's some of the worst anvil play I think I've ever seen on a ratchet. Knock this apart. Super basic, just a single tooth pawl. Batwing style, supported on both ends, the top of the body and through the bottom plate. Reversing. It's a pretty reliable design, just really coarse and simple. In this instance, since it's pretty easy, we don't have a through hole. All I did was just find a washer to put into the back there. One that was slightly smaller so it wouldn't interfere with the pawl and prevent it from fully engaging. And a little bit of lube. Put this all back together. That washer helped, but it's still a little bit more play than I like. Let's see if I can find a better one. So you do have to be careful. Caliper, dial caliper, or some type of calipers are your friends. So this, the original one, 11 thousandths, a little bit too thin, too much play. This one that I just tried, 30 thousandths, too thick. As soon as I put just a little bit of torque on the screws, the ratchet would lock up. What is this one? 21 thousandths. So it looks like we found the Goldilocks washer. And got this back together. Actually, that 20 thousandths was too thick. I found a 15 thousandths. And I just like doing that to ratchets. I wasn't able to get it perfect. The difference between this amount of play and it being jammed is less than 5 thousandths of an inch. But compared to the beginning of the video where this anvil was just all over the place, it's just such a simple fix. And if you just have a little collection of the right washers, that's the key. And it's just so nice. And on a ratchet like this, it's much more important that the anvil remain pretty straight, because if it's getting all cockeyed in there, then the pawl, instead of sitting square, is only partially engaged, and it's more likely to cause damage and wear. But now that's all together, nice and tight, runs smoothly, and barely any anvil play. And even though the Waldens are, even though they're an old American ratchet, they were a cheaper one. Certainly not on par with, say, the old Blackhawks or Williams, but I will give them credit for being an old ratchet, more than like probably 50 years old. Pretty low profile. I mean, really low profile. And no, I did not pay $10 for this ratchet. But compared to the Williams or that Blackhawk, we can see that it's will definitely fit in some narrower spaces, even though the head's much wider. We can see how much wider that. Actually, it's not that bad. It's probably about this. It's a little bit wider than the Blackhawk, and a little bit wider than the Williams, but it does make up for it. Once again, being pretty low profile. Anyway, thanks for watching.